Oh, hey, you're here. I'm just about to start this week's project. Come over a little closer so I can show you. So this is like a kind of a poor man's security system stick. You put a stick here on the side, and then somebody opens the door and they can't. See, but the problem is when I open really hard, this stick will bend because it's kind of flexible and it'll break. So I'm gonna make it stronger by doubling it up with two sticks. Then also the other thing is because there's this space right here, they can kind of swing it really hard and break it. And I need to eat some of that space up. These sticks come 36 inches. It's not long enough, so I need a little extra space there. So I'm gonna 3D print something to fix it. So one thing I need, this measurement is here. And you can see that's about 3 inches. But I'm gonna do 2 3/4 just to have a little bit of looseness. You don't want it too tight. And then the other thing I'm gonna design is that I can grab it out of here because it falls in that groove down there. And it's hard to get. You have to kind of like reach in and get it. So I'll design something for that too. All right, so the other measurement I need is how round is that? I think this is 1/4 inch, but I'm gonna use these dial calipers. Let's see if you can see them. There you go. And they're gonna measure exactly how thick this is. So let's see. Actually, it's much thicker than a 1/4 inch. This is I'm getting about 3.75. I roll it around to find the fattest edge of it, and I think 3.75 will do it. That's a little tight though, and I don't want to struggle, so I'm gonna go 0.380 inches. That's what I'll do, and I think that's all I need for this. All right, now I'm in Fusion 360. This is sped up, by the way, like 4 times because there was like some lag. So this is actually slower than I really like. So this is sped up maximum speed that my software allow me to. And here I am making the circle, the original circle that is going to be the hole. And I think I said a 0.38. That's what I'll make it in there. You see I made it 0.38. That gives it just enough room so I don't have too much friction. And I made 2 of them because remember I'm gonna have 2 sticks. So I made the 2 holes. I put them a 1/2 inch apart. That gives them some space. I didn't really care. It doesn't really matter how much space exactly. I didn't really plan that. So it looked nice at this size. So they're 1/2 inch apart, those 2 circles. I made the outside circle. Now I'm rounding those edges. Remember that's called filleting when you round those edges. Just looks more professional rather than just a squared edge. You should always, unless you have a reason, you should always round those corners, just like on a coffee table, they're not sharp edges, they're always slightly rounded. Here I'm just trying to make a notch because I remember there was like a groove in the middle of that little railway. So I put a little groove there. I could have measured it, I should have, but I just put it there and it just looks nice. So I put that groove, that's where the bottom is going to be there. I made it into 3D. That's called extruding. So you take your drawing and then you extrude it out, which kind of puffs it out. And that's called extruding in 3D software. And I think I'm about done. I don't think I did much else. I know I had to save it, so I think that's what I do. I have no idea what I'm doing at this point. Trying to remember why I'm spending so much time on this. Oh, I know. I had to go back and I edited something. What did I do? Let's see here. Oh, no. So I saved that file. And I saved that last file and I saved it as like the connecting pieces. Now I'm messing with that file and doing the end piece, the final end piece. So I'm adding that little handle on top, and so that's kind of like what I was going for. But I thought, what, maybe I should have something that kind of sticks out, like like pops out a little bit more than just a loop. I think it ends up breaking off anyway. It's very tiny. I remember while I was drawing it, it said it was going to be around 0.1 inches. I mean, that's 1/10 of an inch. That's not very big at all. In fact, this whole thing looks big here in the drawing. It's really small, and you'll see them in a minute when it prints them and when I have them in my hand. That's the other thing. You can zoom in here and they look giant, but what do they look like in real life? You have to kind of have an idea. So here I am. I'm trying to follow the exact arc. So I'm not doing this cheaply. I followed the exact arc. Then I'm going to extrude that little piece upward right there. So it puffs up, and that's the little handle I can grab onto. I don't think it broke off all the way. I think half of it broke or something. It's still useful. And now I'm trying to extrude out. I'm redrawing a plane, and then I'm going to extrude out upwards to make an end. And this next part doesn't have the holes because I don't need it. Because remember, I'm trying to eat up that extra space so that people can't swing the door open with momentum. So there it is. It's puffed out. I think a total of around 2.7 inches. I think I said I was going to do 2.75. I just did 2.7 inches. And here I make the holes a little deeper just so I can have a little bit more wood slide in, because I realize, you know, it'll grip better if I can slide the wood in deeper. So I did that. And here I'm just showing off what it looks like in 3D, rolling around different directions. I save the file. And once I save the file, what am I doing here? I think I'm just getting a little bit of lag on the computer. Oh, I'm saving both the files. Here I'm exporting it. It's going so quickly. I'm exporting the files as STLs because STL files are the kind you need for 3D printing. So here's the 3D printing software. This is only about 30 seconds because this is speed up as well. I bring in the two files. There they are on the floor. I I multiply the little guy because I need a few of those to connect the sticks together. And that's about it. I think I just do a couple of settings right, and I print it with Octoprint. That little bottom right blue button, I push it right there, and I activate it. Now you'll see it printed, and there it is. That's about 2 hours of printing, all done. Here's the stuff. This is what printed. You just saw that time lapse right here. They're pretty small, a lot smaller than you would think too, but fits pretty good even over the paper right here. You got a little frictiony there, but it still fits fine. It's not too loose, not too loose, not too tight. I'm gonna do 3 of these and put them in the same direction here. And if you hear anything, that's just my son in the background. And here we go. 1 on the end, and 2 like in the middle area. Something like that. Something like that. And then, there we go. Let's feed the second one in. This is going to be a lot stronger with 2 of them in here like this. It also starts to get a little frictiony too. There we go. Look at that. It's coming together. Let's get that one down. This one down. And then this one is a little extender. This goes this way. And they fit right in there with like tight fit too. There we go. It's kind of twisted. There we go. Straight. Not bad. And it's not going to bend as easy because it's kind of held together in certain spots, you know, with that plastic. I could probably add a little, like a drop of super glue too to keep this from twisting, because you can kind of twist them around each other. You know, like you can twist it like that. And I don't want to see that. I want to see it like perfectly straight like that. So I'll probably add a little drop of glue if this actually ends up working. Let's see. So here it is in the place right here. Way less space, and no, there's no room to kind of slam it or get some momentum going by moving the door. And it doesn't flex that much because it's like tying 2 together, so it's hard for them to bend. And I added this thing right here to grab it, although I think I'd make a better handle next time. I mean, it's easier than before. But it gives you something to grab onto. Look at that. No one's breaking into my house now. super secure. Hope you guys liked this week's project. It's done. Next week's is way bigger and it's got electronics involved.